Welcome to my video, and in today's video I'm not going to be doing that 1 month or rather that 1 year and 2 month check-in, because it's a little bit beyond that point and I never ended up doing that. But the point is that I'm going to go ahead and choose what I do at the end of the day, so that's not important. I've already done enough check-ins on this channel, and maybe there will be more to come. We'll only have to wait and see. But when it comes to today's video, I'm gonna go ahead and start with talking about how let's say the use of either nicotine, the use of alcohol, the use of any substance that you could think of when it comes to a relationship with that substance, and how much you end up using it at the end of the day, and how it can equate to giving you a false ego and a false feeling when it comes to how it can affect you. So when it comes to mentally, any substance or let's say negative trait or action can become a false ego and a false feeling once you mentally are perceiving yourself as mentally superior, just on the basis of being mentally stable, or at least perceiving yourself as mentally stable, even if that has to be due to the dependency onto that substance, giving you that mental edge or putting you in that mental state of being. And sure, you can choose and pick when you want to be in that state of being and when you don't want to, but when you're constantly in that, then you perceive yourself as being mentally ahead or mentally just beyond, due to the way that the substance is affecting and perceiving through your mental state of being. And that can come in to make you end up feeling as if mentally you're the most stable you've ever been in your life. You feel mentally like this stableness that you get from that substance should not be strayed away from because of your dependency towards it. And when it comes to physically, you could have a false ego of, oh, physically, when I use this substance, I am on top of the world. I am the number one physical vessel down here that is experiencing this bliss, that is experiencing this good feeling all the time. And that is just perceived, and eventually you're gonna start to feel physically, okay, why isn't this the right thing for my physical state of being? Why is this actually doing to my physical state of being? And it could cause you to thinking that, yes, like you're on the top when it comes to physically being able to, and I mean on the top in regards to feeling the best, in regards to fulfilling your desires the most. And that's not necessarily something to be looked forward to, and that can provide a false ego because you think like, I'm the number one person down here fulfilling their desires. I'm the number one person down here having an ego, but that ego is low-key just based upon my negative actions and my fulfillment that I get out of those negative actions. So at the end of the day, is that really even worth it? And that's how it can make you and affect your physical state of being and give you a perceived false ego and a false feeling. When it comes to substance use, when it comes to any negative trait, any negative action that you are depending on and that you are falling into, and or just standing in, if you're not necessarily letting it destroy you or letting it take over your desires, and you're able to use moderation in that way, that should be taken into consideration. And when it comes to emotionally, well, you can always feel the best that you can with your drug of choice, the one that's your favorite, the one that gives you the best emotional fulfillment, and that could end up giving you the ego of, I'm better than these people who I see that are actually going through real feelings and stuff like that, and feeling the tough times, feeling the difficult times and whatnot when it comes to emotionally, versus me over here, and this is hypothetically me, not necessarily me, but over there doing something that is just fulfilling my emotional state of being, like let's say a substance, let's say a negative action that I'm involved in, whatever that may be. Take into consideration that maybe without that, you'll actually have to be real in terms of your ego. real in terms of how you feel, real in terms of dealing with how you feel, other than using something external to you to kind of cope with your feelings. And then at the end of the day, you could end up feeling your own demise of, okay, this isn't something that just makes me feel great all the time. This is something that I have to keep doing and doing in order to even feel like yourself. And I do quotations because that's just the perceived ego and the perceived feeling that it's giving you. So it can be a tricky thing when it comes to substance use, when it comes to negative actions or negative traits that you're trying to work through, that you're trying to, let's say, detach from. That's what I talk about on my channel, so check out all my other videos if you want to learn more about this kind of stuff. And when it comes to spiritually, you could perceive yourself as having an ego of, I'm spiritually always in the right space, I'm spiritually fulfilled, I have found God, I have found religion, I have been saved, I have been freed, you have put me on a path of freedom or a path of being saved or whatnot. That could just be in terms of you wanting to fulfill your ego, in terms of you wanting to fulfill your emotional state of being, whether that emotional state of being is pure and has good intentions, or if it's dirty and it has negative malintentions, or let's say underlying intentions, or I forget the term, but it's like covert intentions or whatnot, just to get something either fulfilled out of your ego or fulfilled about how you feel about something. And you may feel that way on your spiritual path, yet you strip all that away. What path are you on now? When you strip that away, when you strip away that substance, when you strip away whatever you're depending on, either mentally, physically, emotionally, and if you're using that in a way to view yourself as, yes, I'm spiritually in a space that is right for me, then that could not be necessarily the case, because you're actually depending on something outside of you. You as a soul, an individual spirit, are perceiving that I'm in the right place, I'm doing the right things, but that's just backed upon what you have going on in terms of the substance use, when it comes into in terms of how you validate yourself, other than being real and things that are just having to do with you on your spiritual path. So that's just it for this video. That was a quick rundown of how substance use, how negative actions negative actions, whatever way you may perceive this, can affect your ego, and can also affect how you feel in terms of yourself and how you see yourself.